Welcome to my YouTube channel, True Crime Stories. In Hewitt, Texas, Pastor Matt Baker and his wife Carrie seemed to have it all: a loving family, a strong faith, and the admiration of their community. But behind the Sunday smiles, something was wrong. Tragedy struck when their young daughter Cassidy died of cancer, shattering their world. Matt preached about faith in hard times, but Carrie struggled with grief. The community rallied around them, but cracks began to show in their marriage. Matt grew distant, and Carrie confided in her parents about his controlling behavior. She tried to hold her family together, unaware that Matt was hiding a dark secret. The perfect life was just a facade. Matt was not the man he appeared to be. He was living a double life, and the truth was about to surface. The stage was set for a tragedy no one in their small town could have imagined. Sometimes the people you trust most are the ones you know the least. The Baker story was about to unravel, and the truth would shock everyone. One April night in 2006, Matt Baker called 911 claiming his wife Carrie had taken her own life. A suicide note was found written in Carrie's handwriting describing unbearable grief over their daughter's death. The town mourned, believing Carrie's pain had overwhelmed her. Matt played the grieving husband, leaning on his church for support. The evidence, a note, sleeping pills, seemed to confirm suicide. But Carrie's family had doubts. Could a devoted mother really leave her surviving daughter behind? The police closed the case, but questions lingered. Was the note the whole story, or just the beginning of a deeper mystery? Sometimes tragedy hides a darker truth. And in Hewitt, the search for answers was just beginning. The puzzle was far from complete. Carrie's parents, Linda and Jim Doolin, couldn't accept the story they were told. They knew Carrie's faith and her love for her surviving daughter. The idea of suicide didn't fit. They remembered Carrie's recent worries about Matt, his distance, his demands, his control. At the funeral, Matt's behavior seemed off, more performance than grief. Searching through Carrie's things, they found notes in her planner, fears about Matt, plans for the future, a doctor's appointment scheduled for the day after her death. These were not the actions of someone giving up. Linda and Jim took their suspicions to the police. They refused to let their daughter's voice be silenced. The truth, they believed, was still out there, and they were determined to find it. Sometimes, a mother's intuition is the first crack in a perfect lie. The fight for answers had begun. Police reopened the case, digging into Matt Baker's digital life. On the family computer, they found chilling searches: overdosing on sleeping pills, buying Ambien, making a death look like suicide. The so-called suicide note was analyzed. Experts declared it a forgery. The evidence pointed to a staged scene, not a desperate act. Matt's mask was slipping. The respected pastor was now a suspect. The story of a grieving husband was falling apart. Investigators needed a motive. Why would Matt kill his wife? The answer, they discovered, was another woman. The pieces were coming together. The truth was darker than anyone imagined, and Matt Baker's secrets were about to be exposed. The motive was clear. Vanessa Bowles, a church member and Matt's secret lover. Their affair had been going on for months, even as Carrie struggled with grief. Police confronted Vanessa, who eventually confessed to the relationship. She revealed Matt's plan. He didn't want a divorce, he wanted a clean slate. On the night Carrie died, Matt called Vanessa. "It's done," he said. He described crushing sleeping pills into Carrie's drink and staging the scene. Vanessa agreed to cooperate, wearing a wire to record Matt. The evidence was damning. The pastor's double life was exposed. The net was closing in. The truth would come out, not in a sermon, but in a secret recording. The man of God was about to face justice, and Carrie's family was closer to answers. Matt Baker's trial gripped the community. The prosecution laid out the evidence-forged note, internet searches, Vanessa's testimony, and secret recordings. The defense claimed Carrie was depressed, but the jury saw through the lies. They believed Carrie's parents, the evidence, and the truth. Matt Baker was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 65 years in prison. For Linda and Jim Doolin, justice was bittersweet. They had fought for their daughter's voice to be heard. The story revealed the dark side of trust and the abuse of faith. But it also showed the power of love and persistence. The Doolins' search for truth brought justice to Carrie. In the end, justice isn't just punishment, it's unmasking the truth. And in Hewitt, Texas, the truth finally came to light. The perfect life was a lie, but the fight for justice was real.